was very casual. We were just kind of walking off the field, and he was like, "So what you gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna come back next year." He was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go to Atlanta." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's make it happen."
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It's Memorial Day. Memorial Day is always a tough one. You want to say thank you, and you want to remember those that paid that ultimate sacrifice. So you and I could sit here and talk about Tennessee football. You and I could do what we choose to do on this holiday. But just want to talk a little bit about football, a little bit about recruiting on Rocky Top. Huge event, Rocky Top-palooza. Nico Iamaleava in town. Look. A lot of good stuff happened this weekend. Tamarian Parker tells John Bryce of VolQuest.com that Tennessee is out front in his recruitment. Francis Mauigoa had a great weekend, going home to spend time with his family, then coming back on Rocky Top next month in June and bringing the family with him. You got to feel good about that one. Got to feel good about Josh Heupel's confidence to add Francis in the class of 23, but also Vic Burley. You know, I've been talking about him a lot recently, and kind of how it seems like he is trending towards Clemson. But after listening to his interview with Austin Price, I'm starting to feel like Tennessee definitely in the mix. And I said it in a recent video, never count out Coach Rodney Garner. And it sounded like Vic Burley kind of listed Tennessee as being right up there at the top of the list. He never did say that Clemson was the leader, but he said Tennessee right up there on top. So you got to like the way, that's trending. Tennessee is definitely in it. But again, just a great weekend on the recruiting trail. But also, how about that baseball team? How about that baseball team bringing home the SEC Conference Tournament Championship? Now let's go take care of regionals, super regionals. Let's get to Omaha, and let's bring home a national championship for that baseball team. But with all that going on, all that in the media, on social media, everywhere you looked, this one kind of flew under the radar, and that is this. You can see the tweet from a JUCO offensive lineman that would be eligible to play this fall. Savion Herring is in Knoxville for a visit. We'll talk about who he is, what's going on with his recruitment. But as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's free, it's quick, it's easy. It helps the channel. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. This is for the fans, by the fans. We are fans just like you. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. So let's talk about Savion Herring, because, again, when we look at the transfer portal, what Josh Heupel's been able to add, some help on defense. He's been able to add Brew McCoy, solid outside wide receiver. We've talked about all of that. But the one miss, the one constant that we continue to talk about is the offensive line. This football team needs depth on the offensive line, and it's not just trying to replace Cade Mays. You can talk about, Jeremiah Crawford. You can talk about Gerald Mincey, who's going to get that start in Cade Mays' position, but also just adding depth across the board, and that's what I like about Savion Herring. Yes, he was only a two-star prospect coming out of high school, but he went and played community college. He's 6'6", 305 pounds, and on his Twitter bio, he says he can play all five positions across the offensive line. Now, most places you're going to see him listed as an offensive tackle. A couple of recruiting sites also have him listed as an interior offensive lineman. Now, he's a North Jersey kid, but he's on the market looking to transfer. He's got 3 years to play two. He did graduate from Monroe Community College just recently here in May, and now he's looking to move on to that next level. And what you're seeing, doing a little bit of research, and it says that there's some coaching staffs that are interested, and I would say that that's what's happening during this visit to Knoxville. I think Tennessee is going to evaluate. They're going to sit down, have a conversation with Savion Herring, and see if they are going to be willing to take him. Now, it sounds like the same coaching staffs, other coaching staffs going to do the same thing. Penn State, Rutgers, Florida State, Arkansas, BYU, Boise State, Wake Forest, Kansas, UConn, Buffalo, Jackson State. There's a lot of colleges out there that have that interest, and it goes back to what we talk about when you look at kids that are coming out of community college or transferring from, like a Wyoming and transferring up to a big time school. Like look at Isaiah Nair. He became one of the most coveted wide receivers in the transfer portal. He was a 2-star prospect coming out of high school. Same thing with Savion Herring, 2-star prospect. But now you're seeing some interest from big time schools like Florida State. You're seeing Arkansas. Recently took a visit to Kansas. He does have some relationships with some kids on that football team. Again, he's a Jersey kid. He's got a relationship with one of their defensive linemen, Eddie Wilson, so we'll kind of see how that plays out. But again, what I really like about Savion Herring, I like the size, 6'6", 305, but I like the versatility, the ability to play guard or tackle. I think he would add some depth to this offensive line. And again, we've talked about the importance of the offensive line in the class of 23. You're going to need to add, in my opinion, 5 or 6 offensive linemen and really start to build the depth back on the offensive line. Because when you look at this football team, and it's no disrespect, but when you talk about Dane Davis, a former walk-on, and I love the story. I love the Dane Davis story, local kid, right down the road from me. I like the story, Dane Davis going from a walk-on to a scholarship and actually getting solid playing time. I mean, he's a guy that this football program has leaned on. The same for a guy like Ollie Lane. You've got to rebuild this offensive line, and that's why the class of 23, that's why guys like Francis Mauigoa are so important, guys like Sanders. There's a lot of targets on that offensive line that could really start to build this thing back and add depth. But could a guy like Savion Herring, could a JUCO transfer come in with some versatility and be able to help you kind of just give you some depth? I'm not saying that Savion Herring necessarily comes in and pushes Jeremiah Crawford or pushes Gerald Mincy for that starting spot at right tackle. I just like the versatility to come in and add a little bit of depth. He said a decision could come as soon as this week. I was looking to take some other visits. Now, when you look at his actual offer list, again, the list I rattled off earlier, that's teams, coaches that want to evaluate him. But when you look at the list of actual offers, he does have offers from Kansas, Missouri, Cincinnati, Syracuse, and he's got a few other smaller offers. But what do you guys think? Hit that comment section. Is this the type of guy that you take a gamble on? And again, the way it's playing out right now, with them taking off the scholarship reduction in the class of 23, being able to add more than 23 guys. Tennessee's also got some spots from guys that have transferred out. They've got the room. Do you take a chance on a kid like this? See if you're able to develop him. See if you're able to get something out of him. College football is going to be interesting. Waiving that 25 scholarship in the class of 23, are you just going to be cutting kids at the end of the year, which we're already seeing anyway? We're already seeing it anyway. If you have any relationships, connections where you can see what happens to guys that hit the transfer portal, it's not always a case of playing time. It's not always a case of, well, I want to go somewhere else and start. Sometimes these kids are processed out, they're told to look elsewhere, and they are being forced into the transfer portal. Now, if you eliminate that 25 scholarship level, it's only going to make things worse. But it also opens up an opportunity, a window of opportunity for a guy like Savion Herring to come in and see if he can contribute and add something to this football team. But hit that comment section and let me know. Again, sounds like Savion Herring on campus to train, meet with his coaching staff, be evaluated. We'll continue to follow it. We'll let you guys know if anything happens. Continuing to watch Ramon Jefferson, the running back from Sam Houston State, still waiting to see what decision he goes with. But hit the comment section, let me know your thoughts, and also make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out the door, and go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support greatly appreciated. The links to all of that are in the description below, as well as all of our social media tags. Go give us a follow on Twitter. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.